Guys, let's see an anime recap which is going to help you encourage yourself these days. Don't worry.
This is Sogo. While mining ore at night, he suddenly sees a flash of light across the sky. The beam then shoots straight down to where he are. After regaining consciousness, Sogo is surprised to find a beautiful and precious stone in his hand. He then happily runs home. When returning to town, Sogo speeds at full force, but slows down when encountering the police, showing good judgment. He then rushes out and nearly collides with a little girl who just ran into the street. Luckily, his driving skills help him avoid her. He then returns home and informs his uncle Dolan that he has just returned from mining. He then goes up to his room and begins to examine the stone, believing he has found what his mother has long hoped for. Suddenly, he sees some kind of hallucination. Uncle Dolan calls Sogo and asks if he has brought back bread, which startles him into rushing out to get it for his uncle. Meanwhile, a government organization has detected unusual energy at the mountain ravine where Sogo went mining this morning, so they send a captain from the organization to lead troops there to investigate. The captain then receives orders and begins to prepare diving equipment for the troops to descend into the deep cave to investigate. At this time, Sogo has gone to buy bread for his uncle, and the shop owner asks him to send her greetings to his uncle. He then drives back, when suddenly the stone in his pocket unexpectedly unleashes some kind of power that blows him away and causes him to fall right where his friend Kaon is. She then urges him to get up and climb onto the bike, telling him to drive quickly. Sogo hears someone calling Kaon, but she still urges him to drive fast and even actively turns the throttle to ride away with him. But soon after, a young man named Roman chases after both of them in a car. He asks why Kaon won't try on the wedding dress and is running away. She says she doesn't like this arranged marriage set up by their parents. Roman argues that this is for the benefit of the two families, so emotions are not important in this relationship. She finds Roman's words ridiculous and asks Sogo if he agrees. Roman's younger brother Otto suddenly pops out and asks if Sogo is behind this. Kaon then actively turns the throttle, causing her and Sogo to speed ahead. Roman tries to demand Kaon return, but she refuses to listen. So Roman has to tell Otto to force Sogo to the side of the road. They then crash through a steam cloud and split in two different directions. Sogo and Kaon suddenly plunge straight along a pipe and then fall into a huge deep hole. Sogo and Kaon are then in the cave, and Kaon feels guilty for getting Sogo into trouble, but he doesn't want her to worry about it. They both then realize they have fallen quite deep. Kaon suddenly sees something running by and panics, running to hug Sogo, but then feels embarrassed and lets go. Meanwhile, Roman and Otto have also descended into the cave to look for the other two, but now they too are lost, not knowing where they are. Sogo is now trying to fix their vehicle. He thinks that if he can fix it, they can escape because there's the sound of running water, so there must be a way out. But Kaon thinks he's joking. Suddenly, the government organization detonates something in this cave, causing the entire cave to shake. The lake right in front of Sogo and Kaon suddenly lights up and the water is completely drained, revealing a pillar with a red glowing crystal inside. He and Kaon then run to the stone pillar. The stone in his pocket is suddenly drawn into the crystal. It then breaks the pillar and escapes. The crystal transforms into a girl and falls gently into Sogo's arms. He still doesn't understand what's happening when suddenly the robots of that organization arrive. They don't understand why there are miners here, but more importantly, they see that both are holding what they need to find. So they rush in, forcing Sogo and Kaon to run away. But both are cornered, and surprisingly, the girl Sogo is holding summons a mecha to confront the organization's robot. This mecha then repeatedly smashes the organization's robot and throws it away. The mecha then rushes in for a finishing blow. The captain on the other side sees this situation and realizes things seem to be very interesting. The mecha then advances towards Sogo when the captain suddenly brings a robot to confront it. The captain continuously fires at the mecha. Kaon wants Sogo to take the opportunity to leave, but the mecha suddenly breaks the captain's gun and chases after Sogo. The captain has fired a hook and pulled the mecha back. He doesn't understand why this mecha cares about the three children instead of him when his superiors ask why their target is moving. He checks the radar again and discovers that the real target is the girl Sogo is carrying. The mecha has broken the captain's steel wire and escaped, but he rushes to attack and pushes it away. The mecha crashes into a pillar, causing dust and smoke to spread everywhere. It then takes advantage of this chaos to grab the captain's leg and crush him
So
so
guys,
he
we are
can't
not
move anymore. But the cave suddenly collapses, causing Sogo and Kaon to fall even deeper. Sogo then tries to reach for Kaon and the girl, and suddenly the mecha flies down to catch all three and helps them land safely. Sogo then meets Roman and Otto again. The two brothers have found a way out, so they will lead Sogo's group along. They then return to Uncle Damon's shop, and Sogo apologizes to his uncle for not bringing back bread. But the uncle tells them to sit down so he can make something for them to eat. Sogo then tells Roman about this mysterious girl, but the story of a girl falling out of a crystal sounds very hard to believe. However, this girl is involved with the military, so they should be careful, and if they want to turn her in, they need to think carefully. Uncle Daman then brings food to help them forget their troubles. Suddenly, the girl wakes up and pulls the plate of cakes a little closer using her psychic powers. Kaon asks the girl if she likes to eat and offers her a piece. The girl then becomes close to Kaon and begins to imitate her actions and words. Roman asks Sogo if there's any way to find more information about the girl, but to investigate, they at least need to know the girl's name. Perhaps now they should wait for the girl to tell them everything so they can have more information. For now, Kaon suggests letting the girl stay at Sogo's place, but Roman doesn't accept this, so Kaon proposes that she will stay here together and postpone the wedding with Roman. Roman will persuade his parents, and Uncle Daman has no problem with this, so the immediate plan will proceed as above. The two girls then go upstairs to take a bath. Sogo suddenly discovers a strange sphere in the middle of the house and doesn't know who dropped it. Meanwhile, the captain has returned to headquarters. He goes with a female colleague, and they both see a robot. According to the general, this is the latest generation of combat robot, and he wants the captain to pilot it. He agreed, but with one condition. He will have the right to choose soldiers for his team. At that time, Sogo was about to examine this stone to see what it was, but as soon as he started to cut it, the stone cried out in pain and burst open. It then turned into a snake and claimed it would protect the girl that his group had kidnapped. It tells him that the girl's name is Felia. It intends to transform to attack Sogo, but doesn't have enough power to transform. Kaon and Felia then run in. Because Felia refuses to dry her hair, she ran away, causing Kaon to chase after her. Felia then throws a towel at Sogo and only accepts letting him dry her hair. The stone snake doesn't accept Sogo touching Felia. Meanwhile, the captain has gone to a prison to meet a prisoner. As soon as the guard pulls up the prisoner's head, he spits a tooth into the guard's face and escapes from the chair. He clings to the ceiling, then lunges at the soldiers, causing them to fire wildly. And then, after dealing with all the police, the captain is behind him. But he turns out to be an acquaintance of this prisoner, and he's here to bring this criminal back to the team. The next morning, Kaon teaches Felia language, and according to the snake, Felia is happy with everything because she's seeing them for the first time. Uncle Daman then asks Felia to bring food to Sogo. She uses her power to bring the food to him, but the snake tells her not to abuse her power like that, causing her to lose focus and drop the entire plate of food. Sogo reflexively reaches out to catch it, unexpectedly releasing power that turns the snake into the mecha from before. And according to Philia, this snake's name is Mura. Mura then snatches Sogo's breakfast, making him angry and chase after him. Mura believes it has lived on this planet before humans, so it's a noble creature, and Sogo has the obligation to respectfully offer food to it. Sogo throws a broom at Mura, causing it to dodge and fall into Uncle Daman's curry pot. It spills the entire pot, angering the uncle who chases both of them outside. Mora thinks Sogo is petty for making a fuss over just a breakfast, but he believes it's Mura's fault for causing trouble. However, Mura argues that it's Sogo's fault for activating its power, and besides, it saved Sogo's group in the cave, so he should be grateful. Sogo and Kaon then take Felia to the market to have fun and shop. Felia seems to really enjoy the items there. Kaon buys whatever Felia likes and makes Sogo carry everything. When getting off the train, Felia wants to play with the fountain, making Sogo drop everything to rush over. After buying various items and having fun, Mura tells them about Felia's identity, that she is the breath of this planet. Her presence contains nature and life to ensure the world's peace, and it is the guardian responsible for protecting Felia. But no one listens. The group then goes to a bakery to eat it. The shop owner is an acquaintance of Sogo and thinks Mura is just a toy Sogo created. But it must be genius to be able to argue with Sogo. Otto sees that the group seems happy, but Roman still thinks Kaon must be worried now. A while later, Kaon buys more cake for Felia. When Sogo objects, she argues that girls really like sweets. Suddenly, Felia is bumped by someone, causing the cake to fly, and she has to use her power in public. Mara forbids this and causes the cake to fall on the face of a young man wearing glasses. He ignores it, but keeps his attention on the group. He returns home and starts hacking into the city system, causing chaos. All this is just to target Felia because he's fascinated by her power. The captain and the man he just rescued, Pack, are also in the city, and the captain realizes that the person behind this must also be related to the stock market crash a few years ago. Sogo's group has now escaped to a high place, thinking they're safe, but some nearby construction robots have been hacked and are chasing the group. Sogo and Kaon split up to run. Sogo shoots these skateboards into his face to make him target. He both makes robots chase and discovers Felia and Kaon in the cable car. Sogo makes the cable car go higher. He also projects himself to talk and intimidate Felia. Without Sogo. Felia is scared to the cable car door, while Sogo has destroyed that robot to run and pick up the two girls. But that guy has destroyed the robot and is wire walking to find Felia. So Felia uses her power to slow the fall speed, while that guy is hit by a flying cable, shaving off half his head as karmic retribution. Sogo's group returns home that evening, while that guy is found by the captain. He knows the man is Ulfried, and in the following days, Felia is allowed to work as a server at Sogo's family restaurant. She always uses her power to attract customers, which doesn't like at all. The uncle hears news that a storm will come in a few days, and decides to close the shop. Ulfried is caught again and forced to find.
So guys, we'll continue.